Thank you for the invitation. I'm here from Ashland, Oregon, as you can see in the background. So it's a little early in the morning, but that's okay. So first, a brief background, which also will tell you why the COVID pandemic is interesting to us. In 1983, I joined Caltech as a faculty member to help start the first graduate program in computational biology. I'm a computational neurobiologist who makes models of neurons. As you can see, a Purkinje cell in the background. And as part of that, I actually built a platform called Genesis for building models of brains and neurons, which is still used around the world. At the same time, in 1983, because I have a strong interest in education, I decided to start a project to ask the following question: how should the internet and, well, networks and computers, and especially computer simulations, be used or could be used to connect people together and to educate and inform people?
I'm James Haft. So I'm an investment banker. I've been focusing on creating liquidity strategies and communities for global opportunities since for 30 years, starting in Asia and Latin America. And then I moved over to create the concept of technology as an emerging market in 1996, because I felt that markets follow the same boom and bust, same greed and fear cycles, regardless of what the subject matter is. And I figured that digitization of information was going to be the biggest single factor impacting humanity.
I've been working in biotech and pharma for over 27 years, so we are ground zero of what this pandemic is all about. So medicine and the changes in medicine and the effects on medical startups and medical companies is quite dramatic. And there's sort of two classes of companies. There's the companies that have something to offer for COVID-19 or related conditions, and there's the ones that don't. And for each one of those, it's a very different circumstance.
I'm Gianpaolo Parigi, a venture capitalist, investment banker, serial entrepreneur, and the chairman of a single family office.
It's really interesting when one of our political leaders, who I will remain nameless, claimed that nobody knew this was coming. Look at Twitter, okay? There were a whole bunch of former Yvillians who tweeted, I knew, because I was dealing with this in Yville 15 years ago, 12 years ago. So there's a real opportunity here to use this technology to move things forward quickly. But it has to be used well. And I'll restate this point because I think it's important. Most of the things that people are using the internet to do are the things we do in normal world and we've done for a long time. So we're having a meeting together. We're not all together, which is unfortunate. I like London. Okay, in fact, I like Vermont too, okay? But we're sort of doing what we've always done in the real world except here. The real question, the interesting question is, what does this technology allow us to do that is different? It's disrupting. How is it going to disrupt? What are the tools? What are the structures? And we've built a platform in which we built what we call motifs, which are different ways to influence people uniquely using this technology, many of which are based on simulation. So I actually think from a political point of view, that one of the most important things for people to start to understand is what a model is, what a simulation is. And therefore, when a politician or when a scientist gets up and says, like the data I showed on the back, okay, this is a simulation that happened, people actually have some clue as to what the value of models are, what the risks of models are, what models can say and what they cannot say. That is going to be a critical understanding in politicians and in the public to be able to keep moving forward in an ever more complicated and interconnected world.
Here you have the most disruptive event in our generation. And clearly disruptions like this are going to create opportunities. And the question is, where are the opportunities coming? And we can point to a whole bunch of stuff that isn't going to be the same.
It may be that capitalism as we know it has run its course. And that new frames of communication and incentive and support may percolate now as a way to come up. And I don't want to get stuck in the nomenclature of all the different kinds of societies. But I think that new forms of sharing and new forms of valuing human input may become more important as we move forward now.
We're not going to see clear ways on how to make money or how to invest with an increased efficiency. I think everything is magmatic. It was magmatic before, and it will remain magmatic. We're a fluid society. I see more, if I had to translate that into a graphic form, a bunch of Venn diagrams interacting with each other than just the usual pillars subdivided in sections. I mean, we are going towards a multipolar, multidimensional world. We were there already to a degree, but maybe we failed to acknowledge that.
First, this is a tragedy. My 84-year-old mother is scared. No question. But this is also a tremendous opportunity. We live in an amazing time. What we do now is going to change the future radically and dramatically. So it's the time to educate, not to fear, to move forward, and to question what we think we know, and to learn about the circumstances and learn something new. And there aren't so many times in human history where that's come all together at one time, and we're in it. And so it's really a tremendous opportunity, coupled with the unfortunate driver for this.
We're conducting a massive social, environmental, and economic experiment right now. It's not a planned experiment, but nonetheless, we're learning about what happens when you change a whole bunch of different things radically all at once. And a lot will depend on what we choose to learn from this experiment.
So my one word is billionaire, and I'll explain that. I want to redefine the term billionaire from a person that has $1 billion to a person that can impact 1 billion lives. And it's never been as easy, inexpensive, possible to impact 1 billion lives as it is today. And so I think that now we all really need to rethink the changes that we want to see in the world, and to be those changes, and to propagate that through the community, the way that we want to see it, so that you go out there, create your idea, use the platforms that we're talking about that are coming into existence, and make the change you want to see. Make people see opportunities for being better, and then communicate that through these globally existing channels that we can leverage.